Welcome back to Special Report. President Trump's Davos speech made it very clear to the World Economic Forum the United States is done with all the woke nonsense, the global elite, and allowing America to be screwed over.
That's right. With just 1 week in office, Trump has made it clear that he is enacting his America First agenda. And for more on this, let's welcome in tax attorney, wealth strategist, and certified financial planner, Rebecca Walser. Rebecca, thank you so much for being on Special Report today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So first question here, what is going on in the minds of these elites from the World Economic Forum?
Well, the first thing they want to do is deny that it actually happened. I think I don't want to make disparagements on corporations here in America, but I would say that Bank of America, I think, has the most instances of debanking people for what they say is non-political reasons. They'll say it's just suspicious activity. Reports they're complying with Treasury and FBI requests. There is, unfortunately, since the Patriot Act, something called an NSL, a national security letter, that can basically go directly to the bank and request all of your bank transactions without the bank being allowed to even inform you that that is happening. So we have a lot of invasions into our privacy that should be protected by under the Fourth Amendment. Of course, you know, I am a lawyer as well, but that has been invaded unconstitutionally, especially by things like the Patriot Act. I think that was one of the worst things that we could have done for our human rights in America. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not good for fighting crime. If you want to search everybody's everything at all times, you'll find the criminals, but you'll also expose people to a level of degradation of their privacy that they are not entitled to have as a government. But when you look at Bank of America, they have the most examples. But I want to read to you specifically, Bo, here on JP Morgan. They in 2024, they dropped a policy that was a requirement that merchants that process through their WePay electronic payment processing system not accept payments from persons that faced allegations of racism or sexual harassment. So you can see where this goes very quickly in a free society. And you have the UK going through this right now. Hey, you said something on social media that I found, hurtful, that hurt my feelings. I'm going to report you. And then these kinds of things lead you to being debanked, decriminalized. And it's all about opinion. And it is absolutely about the conservative opinion and going after the conservatives so that they feel like they can't speak up, that they don't have the ability to get their message out because they could possibly lose their bank.
Wow, well, I certainly appreciate how fired up you are about this and that you're speaking out on it. Now, President Trump, he actually jumped in on all of this criticism of Bank of America. I want to play that quickly for you and get your reaction.
And by the way, speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
Well, I think one thing is for sure. If President Trump is on it, you know he's going to do something about it. What do you hope to see happen?
Well, first of all, we have to get the denial to stop. I mean, even First Lady Melania was interviewed and talked about herself being debanked at the end of the Trump 1.0 administration. So Trump 2.0, I think we need to call a spade a spade. Look, this is a president that has come in with an administration that understands now how the game is played, how the political machinations actually function, and he's not running for re-election. He has nothing to prove to anyone except for the Americans that voted for him, and it is time to make this happen. The banking corporate world has got to stop denying that they have policies that they will not produce to the public, whether it be DEI or manufacturing. We don't want to have anything to do with any supply chain that deals with guns or other things that they don't find that meets their agenda. And this is a problem. It can be documented. I cannot stand when they say, oh, that's just one example. If it's an example, then that means it's happening at your bank and you need to get your stuff under control.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be transparent about it. And I think that Trump is putting the spotlight on them. He's called them out, just like he does typically. And then we'll see how the cards fall. But at least he's doing the right thing by calling them out. Rebecca, over the past week, Trump has issued a flurry of executive orders that he believes will ultimately bring inflation down. One of the key concerns this past election, of course. How do you think that these orders will help to do that?
Well, I mean, I think, first of all, if you look at what's happening with Doge and really just kind of freezing all federal grants so that we can see what the grants are and how they're being spent, let's just investigate. Like, why should he come in? And I understand we have to keep running the government. It has to be continuously ongoing operation. I understand all those things. But why come in and just accept everything that was done by previous administrations via executive order? So in other words, it's not statute. It doesn't have the power of the purse with Congress actually enacting it and a president signing it. So why not look at everything? And to his point, if he can get some real traction with the Department of Government Efficiency, then maybe we can stop spending so much, like trying to find out why frogs change sex when they're in a, unipond of one-sex frogs. I mean, why do we care? I'm sure there's an environmental concern, but is it really worth millions of dollars? No, I don't think so. We have homeless people and we have veterans that aren't being taken care of. Maybe we have other things about them.
But if those frogs were conservative, they'd be debanked, I think.
Yes, Rebecca, I so appreciate your energy. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, coming up, we're talking about the latest stories that you don't want to miss. Special Report will be right back. Stay with us.